Geography of India. Asia was divided into regions. South Asia looks like a huge triangle and it includes India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Nepal, and Bhutan. India is the biggest country of South Asia and it is known as the Indian subcontinent, which is a landmass that is set up apart from the rest of the continent. Indus River flows across the northwestern part of the subcontinent and to the east. The Ganges River flows across the northern part. Much of India has a tropical climate and monsoons. Geography of India. Asia was divided into regions. South Asia looks like a huge triangle and it includes India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Nepal, and Bhutan. India is the biggest country of South Asia and it is known as the Indian subcontinent, which is a landmass that is set up apart from the rest of the continent. Indus River flows across the northwestern part of the subcontinent and to the east. The Ganges River flows across the northern part. Much of India has a tropical climate and monsoons or seasonal winds help shape life. In winter, monsoon winds blow from the land to the sea and in summer it reverses. When population grew, cities developed on the broad plains of Indus Valley. Farmers built irrigation channels and ditches because the river couldn't depend only on monsoons. The Indus Valley was also rich in resources for trading. Their trade routes lead to Mesopotamia, Egypt, and Indus civilizations. Geography of China. China is a huge land similar in size to the United States. China is covered by mountains and vast deserts. It has two main rivers, the Huang'an and the Shan River. They provided water for farming. They also used them to transport goods. They both start at the high mountains, then flows to the north, and then to the east to finish at the Yellow Ocean. The desert blows a fine dust like a material that is called loess, which is then picked up by the Huang River. When overflowing, the river deposits this loess, creating a rich soil, which provides land for farming at North and East China. China is also isolated from its surroundings by two deserts, the Taklamakan and the Gobi. They lie to the north and west of China. The towering Himalayas form a wall between China and India. To the south lie more mountains and to the east stretches the vast Pacific Ocean. China was largely cut off from the other civilizations. It developed its own traditions and way of life. Geography of China. China is a huge land, similar in size to the United States. China is covered by mountains and vast deserts. China has two main rivers, the Huang and the Shan River. They provided water for farming. They also used them to transport goods. They both start at the high mountains, then flow to the north and then to the east to finish at the Yellow Ocean. The desert blows a fine dust like a material that is called loess, which is then picked up by the Huang River. China is also isolated from its surroundings by two deserts, the Taklamakan and the Gobi. They lie to the north and west of China. The towering Himalayas form a wall between China and India. To the south lie more mountains and to the east it stretches the vast Pacific Ocean. China was largely cut off from the other civilizations. It developed its own traditions and way of life.
How civilization develops. China. First settlements started setting along the Huang River for its resources and transport methods. They created farming villages. Each village had a chief or person that coordinates, manages, and commands warriors of a village. Over time, stronger chiefs started to take control of nearby villages, created small kingdoms. A ruler from small kingdom created the Shang dynasty, or the first dynasty that was ever created. A dynasty is a family that holds power for many years, also floated between family relatives, only blood. The Shang dynasty lasted from 600 years. In India, farmers began growing crops after 200 before Christ. Cities developed on the broad plains of the Indus Valley. They had the world's first citywide sewer systems. Indus Valley civilization had an advanced system of weights and measurements, using multiples of 10. Most cities had a huge citadel or fortified area. It was rich in resources for trading. They made jewelry, they sold cotton, cloth, and teak. After this civilization disappeared, Indo-Aryans came and settled the Indus Valley. They introduced themselves during the Vedic Age. The earliest people lived as nomadic herders, raised cattle, horses, goats, and sheep. Then they began to farm and settle into villages. Aryans were also warriors who went to war with ordinary people. They had a caste system and had many beliefs.
They built huge raised mounds of earth and brick in their cities. Many houses in those cities had a bathroom and toilets. They had the world's first citywide sewer system. Their cities were built with wide, straight streets in glit pattern. The Indus Valley civilization had an advanced system of weight and measurements using multiples of 10. Like the modern metric system, scholars believe that farmers stored surplus ground in grains or special buildings used to hold grain. They also carved wooden animals and paint pictures of animals on pottery. Achievements of China. Oracle bones are animals' bones or turtle shells carved with writing. Pictograph, which represents words or ideas. The Shang artisan made pottery and jade carving, but they were recognized by their bones works. Chinese are also recognized because they built the Great Wall.
Economy in India. Farmers from the Indus Valley built irrigation channels and ditches to bring river water to the wheat and barley fields. They also raised cattle, sheep, goats, and chicken for food. Since the Indus Valley was rich in resources for trading, they made jewelry and sold it. They sold teak, and they were the first ones to grow cotton. They used stone seals to identify their goods and their trade in Egypt, Mesopotamia, and urban centers. When Indo-Aryans arose, they started raising cattle, horses, goats, and sheep. After some time, they became farmers and others became skilled warriors. Economy in China. During the Sui, there were many technological advances. For weapons, one important invention was the crossbow. Innovations also helped strengthen the Sui economy. Coins were also used for the first time in the Sui dynasty. Coins made the trade across the large Sui Empire easier. The Han Emperor lowered the taxes that Shi Huangdi had collected. Farmers were the backbone of China's economy. Farmers made up about 90% of the population. Industries such as iron production also became important. Iron was used to make tools. These industries became so important that Huangdi turned them into state monopolies. A monopoly is when a single group controls the production of a good or service. The monopolies brought in money. Profits from selling iron and salt helped support Huangdi's military adventures. Society in India. The Indo-Aryans people had a caste system. This caste was a fixed social class into which a person is born. People inherit their caste from their parents. Members of different castes did not usually mix socially. They can eat together or get married across caste lines. They were divided in Brahmins, were the highest varna, or priests. Kshatriyas were the rulers and the warriors. Vaishyas were the landowners, bankers, and merchants. Sudras, who did farm work and other minor work, like farmers, laborers, and servants. Idealists, these people had to do dirty works that nobody else wanted to do, such as cleaning toilets or butchering animals. As they settled, they developed specialized jobs for priests, warriors, merchants, and farm workers. Each caste had given a particular status. People were born into a caste and could not leave it. Society in China. In ancient China, society put a high value on family relationships. Older family members had more power than younger ones. Men also had higher status. In modern China, family relationships were different. Elders didn't rule, while men worked and provided money. The woman took care of elders and children. In ancient China, they made use of oracle bones or bones that told the future. They wrote questions on these bones and cracked them with the head. Then, a priest interpreted the cracks. They also recorded events on these bones.